Hello and welcome to Masquerade Breach. I'm Blazewing.
I'm Catherine Cosplays, otherwise known as Krisha, and I'm so excited to be here right now.
I didn't catch that, Marley.
You guys never catch my name on any episode.
It's
It's
your
weird.
the Discord box doesn't light up.
Yeah, it
It's
didn't
lighting
light
up for me
now.
every time I can see. I saw myself speak,
That would
but
be
yeah, every episode I say my name and you're all like, "We can't hear you," but everything else I say you hear. It's just my name that it won't pick up. So
Marley.
Marley is awesome. And I'm Oceanus Veritas, also known as Cam.
We may have to discipline Discord at some point. Welcome
We
to
can't give. We
what?
can't give. We can't give Discord disciplines. Do you know how abusive it would be?
Welcome to our last episode of Masquerade Breach for season 2.
I really thought you were about to say ever.
This is not going to be your normal episode. This episode we are doing brackets. If you are able to watch the video, I would highly recommend it. The video will have actual visual on it for our brackets, but we'll give a rundown as we go. Krisha has been ever so wonderful in making our brackets for us, so why don't you go ahead and explain how this is going to work?
Howdy, y'all. So, every single, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, sorry. So, each season has its own bracket. So if you see here on the right side of the main screen, I have it in a group stage type bracket so that we have everything in groups against one another so that is the most fair. In my opinion, we have an odd number of pieces of media per season. So this is the season 1 bracket. We will be going one by one. Each of us has a vote. That way we have points so that we can get a clear winner and standing at the end of each bracket. Season 1 has a bracket, and then we will go to season 2. Season 2 also has a bracket. Now, what is awesome is that we have a seasons 1 and 2 mega bracket. So we will have a winner of each season, but we will also have an overall winner. And as we go through the seasons, it will get longer and longer and longer because we will have more and more media. So at the moment on the screen right now, we have the first bracket, which is Masquerade Breach Season 1. Our players are Midnight Mass, Dracula Dead and Loving It, Near Dark, Queen of the Damned, Lost Boys, What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, and the book Carmela. So we have one book, one TV series, and a lot of movies. So, in my opinion, this is how I would like to do it. Each of us, there are 4 of us. Each of us then can give a point towards, or a vote, towards which one out of the 2. If you would like to give a reason as to why you think one or the other, you totally can say it. We just want to keep it quick because we have a lot of brackets. So, first, go ahead.
I would recommend that majority rules when we're picking brackets.
we may have a small problem because I wasn't part of season 1. So I'm not sure if you want to count my votes for the ones I know about, or if you want me to just sit out of one.
You are staff for the ones that you know about. You are welcome to chip in for.
Got it.
And I would like to also recommend that if we have a tie, we use the chat to break that tie.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Now, which one?
I've got my eyes on both. Don't worry about it. So,
Alrighty. Let's kick it! So our first bracket is our first match is Midnight Mass, the Netflix series, versus Dracula Dead and Loving It, the much beloved film. So does anybody want to go first with their vote?
Midnight Mass.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say Dracula Dead and Loving It. So we have our first win.
Rude.
All right. So we have Near Dark and Queen of the Damned. It's Queen of the Damned. I'm sorry.
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned.
Yeah, Queen of the Damned. It's a cult classic.
Ooh, now we have Midnight Mass versus Near Dark.
Midnight Mass.
I'm going to have to say Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass.
I can't vote because I haven't seen either.
Oh, choose one.
It's not fair because I don't know what either's about. So
Okay.
we can go by your guys' votes, though.
If you want, I can run you through some of these later.
Technically, it is majority rules.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't mind not voting on ones I honestly don't know.
Fair.
Alrighty, we have Dracula Dead and Loving It versus Queen of the Damned. Those are two completely different genres. We have artsy and dramatic versus Airplane, but vampires.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
I really thought y'all were gonna do Queen of the Damned. I really thought Queen of the Damned was gonna win this one. I thought I was gonna be the odd one out doing Dracula Dead and Loving It.
No, I like bad movies, remember?
Alright, so now we have the two dramas against each other. We have Midnight Mass versus Queen of the Damned.
Oh.
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned.
Midnight Mass.
Unfortunately, I was gonna say Midnight Mass. So, chat, Midnight Mass or Queen of the Damned? You gotta be the tiebreaker.
Our first tiebreaker of the night.
Wait, should I grab my fiance who has not watched any of these movies and ask him to pick because he's an unbiased opinion?
All right,
It's
chat.
almost like
Uh,
Hail to the Queen.
Majestically Me says, all hail to the Queen. Do we have any other votes that want to roll in? Waiting. I think it's going to be Queen of the Damned.
Yeah.
All right, mark it down.
Alrighty, and the last one of Group A is Dracula Dead and Loving It versus Near Dark. It's Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Absolutely it is.
Alrighty, so that was our first group. So now we have the second group, which is, it's fairly short. So we have Lost Boys versus What We Do in the Shadows.
Lost Boys. Hands down, Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
Okay, this bracket is, this is a lot easier than I thought this was going to go. I really thought we were going to have more debate. I thought there was going to be back and forth. I wasn't ready. I'm going to have to say Carmella. I'm sorry.
What are the options for this one?
Lost Boys versus Carmella.
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
I like Carmilla.
Chat, another tie. Would you choose Carmella the book or Lost Boys? Get your answers in.
We have a Lost Boys vote in the TikTok chat.
I see that. I want to see if anybody
there's
else.
2 of them. Wait, one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, one vote. I'm waiting to see if anybody else wants to put a vote in.
Babe, you voted twice.
That one was for before, because Lost Boys has been up twice.
The book, but Lost Boys.
I see.
That's also a Lost Boys vote in the Twitch chat as well. So that's a Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah. And then What We Do in the Shadows versus Carmella.
Oh.
What We Do in the Shadows?
Carmella.
If it was What We Do in the Shadows, the series, then I would say What We Do in the Shadows, the series. But because it's the movie, I'm going to go with Carmella.
Can't vote on this one, so I'm going to let you guys do your majority.
That's 2 versus 1, I believe, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ocean.
Hey, I go for comedy too.
All right,
semifinals. Oh, and we have a very clear winner with the first one. We have Dracula Dead and Loving It versus Dracula Dead and Loving It versus Carmella. It's Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Hands down.
Yep.
And then the 90s 2000s epic Queen of the Dam versus Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Kiefer Sutherland, Saxophone Man. Yeah, Lost Boys.
I think Ocean just talked himself out of voting for Queen of the Dam there.
Lost Boys.
Albeit the only thing really good about Queen of the Damned is the soundtrack. I got it.
Rip Queen of the Damned.
Guys, this is the last match. This is for season 1. Dracula Dead and Loving It versus Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
All hail Mel Brooks. Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh, that's not helping me at all.
Saxophone Man. Yeah.
Yeah, Lost Boys.
I'm gonna have to say, because of how timeless it is, I'm gonna say Lost Boys.
Damn it!
Sorry, Ocean.
I like Leslie Nielsen, okay?
So do I. And yes, this does hurt. That's the fucking point.
All right, so the winner of the season 1 bracket is Lost Boys.
All right. You give edge to Lost Boys, but it's close. Yeah, these do hurt. That's the whole fucking point.
All right, so this one is going to be more fair because there are 3 per group, so it'll be a little more even this time.
Cool. Let's see what you got.
Once Bitten versus Daybreakers.
It's not easier.
Which one is Once Bitten?
That's the Jim Carrey one.
Oh, shit! I'm gonna have to go with Daybreakers.
You know what?
Daybreakers.
I've only seen it once, but I'm gonna have to go with Once Bitten.
You know that dance scene in
Yep.
Once Bitten?
Yep, that's what got me.
I'm going for Once Bitten as well.
Also, the final ending scene with the fucking shaking coffin. I'm sorry, but that gets me every time.
That's 2 then.
This is kind of why I wanted each of us to be 1 vote, because then, like, it would be easier to put the score in. But, how is everyone? Once Bitten or Daybreakers? Look at the comments. Once Bitten was a vampire movie with Jim Carrey. It was more of a comedy. He's seduced by a lady vampire who needs to drink the blood of a virgin 3 times before Halloween.
So,
otherwise, shit happens. Daybreakers, everyone's a vampire, and they suddenly discover the cure for vampirism.
So, in the TikTok chat, we have a vote for Daybreakers. In the Twitch chat, we have a vote for Daybreakers and a vote for Once Bitten.
Daybreakers That's 2 votes for Daybreakers.
Daybreakers takes it.
Yep.
Once Bitten versus Renfield. I'm gonna have to go with Renfield.
Renfield.
Yep, hands down.
You gotta love an over-the-top Nick Cage.
Absolutely.
Daybreakers versus Renfield.
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 Over-the-top Nick Cage.
Oh, Vampire's Assistant Cirque du Freak versus Fright Night.
Fright Night.
Fright Night.
Fright Night.
Prince Humperdinck as a vampire is so fucking good, it's not even funny.
Vampire's Assistant Cirque du Freak versus Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp. Dark Shadows.
Dark fucking Shadows. I'm almost insulted that those two paired off.
Fright Night versus Dark Shadows.
Fright Night.
Honestly, Fright Night.
Vampire.
Fright Night. I'm gonna have to go with Fright Night.
Dark Shadows.
It's so hard, but that's why we gotta do it. I'm
sorry. I'm as much as I love those practical effects, the set gets me more.
Oh God, this one is.
Guys, perfect creature versus Dracula the Dark Prince.
Dracula the Dark Prince.
Dracula the Dark Prince.
Dracula.
Perfect creature versus Hotel Transylvania. Hotel Transylvania.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Hotel Transylvania.
Perfect creature. Sorry.
Okay, the two polar opposites: Dracula the Dark Prince versus Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania all the way.
Hotel Transylvania always.
Yep.
I'm going with Hotel Transylvania.
Yep. Adam Sandler is Dracula. I mean, you're not wrong. All right.
Renfield versus Daybreakers semifinals.
Renfield.
Renfield.
You know, I gotta play some dialogue of why I'm choosing. So we have on one side Jurassic Park doctor turned vampire, or over the top Nick Cage.
You gotta go over the top Nick Cage. You know that's good.
Gotta go Nick Cage on this. Renfield.
Fright Night versus Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania, hands down.
Hotel Transylvania.
Humperdinck.
Oh my. Okay. You guys are going to be very shocked.
Fright Night.
I'm leaning towards Fright Night.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us your reasoning.
I'm thinking of this in terms of like, I'm trying to put like my nostalgia aside for the sake of like putting it in this vampire movie bracket against other vampire movies. And I think just Fright Night leans more into like the horror and this like the classic vampireness, whereas like Hotel Transylvania like doesn't, it's not a classic vampire movie, whereas Fright Night very much is and leans really into the horror and the dark. So I'm gonna have to say Fright Night.
I'm changing my vote. Fright Night.
Yeah.
The other reason is because it's Monster Mash with Hotel Transylvania.
It's a graveyard smash.
It's a boneyard bash. Sorry.
Oh my god, I hate that I know how this is gonna go, but the final vote: Renfield versus Fright Night.
God damn.
Ow.
That hurts. Oof.
Fright Night.
So both are beautiful and classics in their own right.
I mean, I love them both, but if we're basing it off of what we believe would be the most in the vampire lore, I mean, honestly, it probably would be Renfield, but I still feel like Fright Night hit a lot of good points. and it was hilarious at the same time, and it made us question things. There weren't a lot of questions in Renfield.
I'm gonna have to go with Fright Night.
I'm gonna have to agree, because thinking back to our reviews, I remember us saying a lot that we wanted them to add more to Renfield, whereas our only critique of Fright Night was pull it back.
Yep.
Like, we had everything in Fright Night, so I'm gonna go with Fright Night.
So,
Ocean.
here's how I'm looking at it. I look at if it's a vampire movie or not. Considering that Fright Night is absolutely a vampire movie through and through, Renfield didn't hit that mark because
Renfield's
it's a ghoul movie.
Yeah, it's a ghoul movie.
So, Fright Night. Prince Humperdinck! Just kidding.
I just want to point out that was one that I picked, and I'm very proud to see it win.
Yeah.
All right. So Masquerade Breach Season 2, the winner is Fright Night.
Okay, I believe we have one more bracket to go through.
One more.
Uno Moss.
Alrighty, guys. This is the mega bracket.
So this is every movie, every piece of media that we have watched against everything else. This might take a bit of time to get through. Just bear with us. We will get there.
There are 16 pieces of media here.
Wow.
Let's have it. Let's find out. Out of Season 1 and Season 2, let's find out which piece of media wins overall.
And I made the groups really small, so it really breaks up the brackets. So we really see it here. All right, our first one. Wait, actually, 1 second. I need to fix something. Sorry.
Yep, no worries.
No worries.
It's our first time around for this, so...
Which I think is amazing.
So,
I think this is a good thing.
Are we just going to keep this, like, mega bracket open and then keep adding stuff to it as we watch it?
Unfortunately, we can't really adjust it, but I can keep making an infinite amount of brackets.
Oh, that's going to be awkward as fuck. I love it. I love it so much.
Alrighty, guys. Dracula Dead and Loving It Season 1 versus Once Bitten Season 2.
Once Bitten.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
I'm really going to have to go with Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Chat, we have a tiebreaker we need. Once Bitten or Dracula Dead and Loving It? What do you choose?
These are both, like, classic...
Yeah.
Like... I don't want to say spoofs, like horror movie spoofs, but they are horror comedies, and I do love them very much.
Agreed. Once again, chat, Dracula Dead and Loving It or Once Bitten? Sarah says Dracula Dead and Loving It. Let's see if anybody else pops in a vote.
Someone said loving in TikTok chat.
And we have another vote for Dracula Dead and Loving It in the Twitch chat. And we have 2 votes for Dracula Dead and Loving It. Apparently, Xylent says by far, Dracula Dead and Loving It takes it.
Nice.
Oh, fuck. It's Carmella Season 1 versus Dracula the Dark Prince Season 2?
Carmilla.
I'm not Dracula.
The issue is, I love both of them.
Yeah.
But in terms of being the better media, I'm gonna have to say Carmella.
And I'm going with Dracula the Dark Prince. Specifically because of the set.
This really is a lot harder when we do it this way.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
All right, chat. Carmella, the book, the original vampire, the original sapphic vampire, or Dracula the Dark Prince?
Majestically Me says Carmilla. 1 second. Let's see if anybody else puts in a vote. Waiting. Preserve the queer history. That is actually a very good point.
Yep. There's a good reason why I like that.
I don't see any other votes coming in. I think Carmilla takes it.
That's a tough choice, though.
Yeah. I'm actually liking this mega bracket a lot. It's making me think.
Ooh.
Renfield Season 2 versus Midnight Mass Season 1.
Midnight Mass.
Renfield.
I'm going to have to say Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
Midnight Mass is one of my favorite pieces of media that we've watched so far.
All right, we have Dark Shadows Season 2 versus Near Dark Season 1. Dark Shadows.
Yep.
Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows.
Everyone loves a good Johnny Depp movie.
Okay. I don't even have to read this. We have Fright Night Season 2 versus Vampire's Assistant Season 2. It's fucking Fright Night.
It's Humperdinck.
Humperdinck.
Whoop, whoop, as a vampire.
Yeah, it's going to be Fright Night.
Ooh, Queen of the Damned Season 1 versus Perfect Creature Season 2.
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned.
You know, I absolutely loved Perfect Creature in this, so I'm going with that. The dialogue in both are the dialogue alone was what got me hooked in that, and it was intellectual. But again, it needed a stopping nuance, trying to stretch that nuance. Queen of the Damned is far more articulate, but I love the broody grit that Perfect Creature had.
I'm sorry, but Queen of the Damned, babe.
That's fine. I stick by my guns.
Aw, Hotel Transylvania Season 2 versus What We Do in the Shadows Season 1.
Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania. And then finally for the groups, Daybreakers Season 2 versus Lost Boys Season 1.
Lost Boys, hands fucking down.
Yeah.
Lost Boys.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Alrighty, people, we have made it past the group stage.
The Grinder.
What do we got?
We have Dracula Dead and Loving It Season 1 versus Lost Boys Season 1.
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
I'm gonna have to say Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Rude!
I think I voted this way last time, too.
Yeah, I'm judging you.
Leslie Nielsen or Kiefer Sutherland. Hot Kiefer Sutherland. Kiefer Sutherland wins. Lost Boys.
Midnight Mass Season 1 versus Queen of the Damned Season 1.
Midnight Mass.
I'm gonna have to say Midnight Mass.
Would you say Ocean?
Queen of the Damned.
Okay.
I'm going with Queen of the Damned.
All right, chat, tiebreaker. What say you? Midnight Mass or Queen of the Damned?
Go with the true vampire movie.
Excuse me?
No influencing the public. No, I'm kidding.
I haven't watched Midnight Mass, and I have seen Queen of the Damned. I'm voting for Midnight Mass. So we have one vote for Midnight Mass, one vote for Queen of the Damned.
Oh,
we are split. You've never seen Midnight Mass? I highly recommend you go watch it.
Oh, we got a Midnight Mass vote in TikTok chat.
I think Midnight Mass takes it.
Yep.
Okay, next up.
Carmela from season Carmela from season 1 versus Hotel Transylvania from season 2.
As
I'm
do
gonna have to say.
As do I, Icy.
Carmilla all the way.
Queer story or cute fluffy cartoon?
Like, the issue is, again, I'm trying to take my, like, nostalgia away from this, because Hotel Transylvania is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Carmilla.
Oh, I'm gonna have to say, like, Carmella, because it literally inspired Dracula. That's why we're here today.
Yep.
I'll agree.
Dark Shadows from season 2 versus Fright Night from season 2. I'm gonna have to say Fright Night.
I'm going with Fright Night.
Dark Shadows.
If it was a series, if it was the series, I absolutely would say Dark Shadows, but it's not. So Fright Night.
Dark Shadows was a Monster Mash movie.
Yeah.
It's a graveyard smash.
I'm gonna have to go with Fright Night.
Bash.
Alrighty, we are in the semifinals, people. I just want to point out that in the semifinals, we have 3 pieces of media from season 1 and only 1 piece of media from season 2.
Oof.
Let's do it.
We have Lost Boys season 1 versus Midnight Mass from season 1.
Oh, fuck all the way off.
Lost Boys.
Oh. How the fuck do I...
How do you choose? I know, right? It's Lost Boys and Midnight Mass.
Yeah. Do I go for the cult classic that I fell in love with? Or do I go for the dark, the underbelly, the gritty?
I'm gonna have to say Lost Boys.
Doesn't matter what I say then. You guys take Lost Boys. That just takes the decision away.
You should still search your own soul, though, Blaze.
I can't. That's the thing. With those 2 specific movies, I can't. I cannot choose one or the other.
Right.
Alrighty, guys. Carmella the book, and she's been doing great this bracket, versus Fright Night. I'm sorry, Fright Night.
Fright Night.
Carmilla. We would never have any of this if it wasn't for Carmilla.
Carmilla.
Ooh.
Alrighty, chat! Do you want Fright Night, which is Prince Humperdinck seducing a teenage girl, or do you want Carmella, a teenage girl seducing a teenage girl?
From the 1800s. Don't forget to say from the 1800s.
Bridgerton lesbians, one of which is undead.
Come on, chat. Cast your votes.
Come on, people. We don't pay you to sit around and do nothing.
We don't pay them.
Exactly.
They don't know that.
Again, I swear, if the air horn... Ooh.
Majestically.
We're trying to poll the audience here. Y'all are supposed to be like, who wants to be a millionaire?
We're choosing...
Oh my... Okay,
Sarah.
we're choosing between Carmella and Fright Night.
We have 1 vote for Carmilla.
Yep, let's see what the other ones bring up. Fright Night. That's a tie.
I also want to point out Fright Night was the season 2 bracket winner.
Fright Night. Look at Fright Night hauling fucking ass.
Thank you. I did pick a good movie. There were a lot that I didn't pick that were
Xylem says
that were winners, and there were a lot that I did pick that were losers. I have one winner in this.
Xylanth says, haven't read Carmilla, but kind of want to give it to the vampire lesbians.
It
I'm sorry. I'm standing. Can I stand on my my soapbox and talk about Fright Night versus Carmilla?
Sure.
All right. So I actually want to look at the two separate medias here because okay. So if you were to look at like the impact of Carmilla, which yeah, that's the reason why we're all here, and then Fright Night, which not a lot of you are familiar with. I also want to bring onto the fact the story. The story of Carmilla is from the perspective of the main girl.
Mm-hmm.
She has no fucking idea what's going on, and we get the majority of the plot through. Oh yeah, and my dad told me after the fact, blah 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 blah, for half a chapter. Otherwise, she's just confused and sick for the whole book. Fright Night, we get seduction. We get the old mentor who is forced out of his like fear and brought forward. We have a hero who refuses to give up. We have a seduced Madonna who's turned into this like incredible like vampire woman. We have like the other weirdo friend who's like tempted into the dark. We have it all. We have it all, baby. So I'm going to have to say, even though Carmilla was very, 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 very literaturally important, I will have to say Fright Night had it all, and it did not apologize for showing all of it.
Would anybody like to stand up for Carmilla?
I would. So, while yes, Fright Night has essentially the modern take of what would be vampirism. It has the seduction, has the grotesqueness, it has the vampire, and essentially the resonating female lead that ends up, well, making love to him. The point with Carmilla was more of the symbolism regarding vampirism in its whole. Not only did it touch on taboos and bring about the idea of death in a way that was socially acceptable while touching on subjects that were considered not socially correct. The idea of a woman who is coming to terms with being sick because of this vampire feeding off of her. Even though it doesn't say it, it implies it. The idea that you have Carmilla, this vampire that happens to have a lot of the same things that we resonate today, shows that it is not a new thing that we deal with. It opens your eyes to a level of psychology of vampirism in this state of the book that embodies what it means to be seduced, to being uh, gaslit, to being used in a way that is literally beautiful and is the inspiration to why Dracula came about. If I was to go with anything, the culture of this book alone wins hands down.
And Majestically Me also put in chat, Carmilla walked so Fright Night could run.
Yep.
All right. So I'm taking it Carmilla.
We have 2 votes in chat for Twitch chat for Carmilla, and we have 1 vote in TikTok chat for Fright Night. That means Carmilla takes it.
Carmilla takes.
All right, what do we got?
The finale. Lost Boys versus Carmilla. Both have such extreme significance on the genre of vampire.
They've both helped to define the genre themselves.
And also, might I point out that Lost Boys made vampires cool. Like, brought it into, like, that punk underbelly, like, alternative world that we really do associate vampires with today, and not just Victorian vampires, if you get what I'm trying to say.
It's not just that. Lost Boys inspired Spike's look, which in turn inspired some of the clothes that I wear and my personal style. But Carmilla is time-honored and tested. It's about the it's about the feel. It's about the story behind the story. It's about reading between the lines. How the fuck am I supposed to choose?
My point of view on the whole thing is, I understand that something, being the first, being the beginning, and it being the inspiration for other things is important. But does that mean it itself was as good as what it's being compared to? Or are you just looking at the nostalgia of it? Because you brought up a lot of great points, but it keeps cycling back to, well, it was the first, it inspired, but was it as good of a representation as what it's being compared to? Because I can name a lot of firsts and they may not add up to what came up after, because it was just the nostalgia that kept it going. It was an inspiration. The fact that you have brought up amazing points about it, that can stand on its own. But just because something started something else doesn't mean that it was as good as what came after. Because what came after can touch your heart in a way that the first one may not. Did the first one touch your heart, your soul, and did it inspire the way that the other one did? That's what I'm looking at. And as much as I love the points, the first draft is almost never as good. So that's just where my brain is hearing about it. I haven't read it. So honestly, like, I don't think I am good to vote on that. I'm going to pick Lost Boys just because it's the only one I know. But listening to everybody, I just want to say that 1 point is the only one I'm kind of discarding, as it was the first, because that doesn't make it better.
I'm going to say, like, piggybacking off of that, I enjoyed watching and experiencing Lost Boys more than I did Carmilla. Carmilla is more of a psychological horror because the narrator is an untrustworthy narrator because she's going through it. She's the one being seduced by the vampire, and it's from her point of view. So shit is skewed, stuff is going on. However, Lost Boys was fun. Lost Boys was such a good time. So my vote is for Lost Boys.
The untrustworthy narrator is a time-honored mechanic. Something that we see throughout all horror and all gothic genre. No matter what the story, there are hints of it in almost everything. Ocean?
When putting these two side by side for story purposes only, both have in their right their own powerhouses and their own wheels. Both tell a different story. but when it comes to pros and cons to each have their strengths and their weaknesses. With Carmilla, yes, the strength is that you're looking at it from almost a first person point of view, with the narrator being in the mix, in that with the macabre, the connection with how intimate that relationship is with the vampire, with Carmilla, and finding out through almost a mystery, a murder mystery, if you will, that oftentimes gets brought up in a lot of things and is seen throughout more than just vampire movies and horror, but also into the suspense, the suspenseful, and the genre of a thriller. We see this multiple times. Putting it to the character arcs of the characters, including the narrator, versus the character arcs of the movie in Lost Boys, there are a couple of elements that really stand out for me. Was there character arc in these stories, where the narrator has a character arc, but Carmilla didn't have much in the way of a character arc, in my personal opinion. Where with Lost Boys, you see the drastic developments and changes between those characters and how they view things. I'm going to have to go with Lost Boys on this. Not because I don't love Carmilla less, but because it told a better story.
I'm also going with Lost Boys.
And with that, the winner of the Mega Bracket Season 1 and Season 2 is Lost Boys.
Woo-woo.
Now,
second place being Carmilla. And I believe third place being, if I just check real quick, I believe Fright Night.
Mm-hmm. I think that is actually a very good lineup for the first two seasons.
I think
the
so.
First, second, and third. That being said, chat, give me 1 second because we have something else to talk about. Don't close that window just yet. Otherwise, it'll screw up the windows as I've got them. Just give me 1 second here.
I'm just going to go back to the Mega Bracket and just have it on this.
Heck yeah.
Where is...
It's on the left.
No, actually, it was on the right.
Be still my heart.
Give me 1 second, because we have one more thing we have to go through.
Haven't we gone through enough? Oh.
Yeah, I know. We just traumatized ourselves and the chat with that, and I'm here for it. All right.
We actually made it through that faster than I thought we would.
Yeah, you're
my god, same. I thought it was going to take, I really thought it was we were gonna have so much more debate. I wasn't ready for just Renfield. Okay.
That being said, I want to say, when it got down to the wire, we did sit here and talk about it. We had some really good stuff brought up. Chat. The staff of Masquerade Breach have decided what our movies for Season 3 are going to be. We don't know when we're going to be going live for Season 3 yet. Your staff would like a bit of a break so we don't burn out doing this shit. And then we're going to come back to it. We're going to do, our community movie nights and all of that shit. I think we're going to be talking about when we're coming back actually on Wednesday. So expect an announcement from us sometime maybe Wednesday or afterwards. But we've decided what our movie lineup is going to be for Season 3. Anyone interested?
Yay!
Oh, I forgot. I'm always interested.
Yeah, no shit. I'm wondering, I'm curious, would chat like to know what they're in for season 3?
Say yes. Because we want to tell you. I will take all of your votes and say you all said yes if you do not answer.
Damn it, Marley.
I'll tell you right now, if you don't say yes, we'll tell the Camarilla on you.
All right. So
I will personally break into your houses and steal all of your bacon.
nobody's answered, but I'm going to list anyways, just because I want to put this out there for the public so you guys know what's coming up. And by the way, to our staff, your graphics have been made completely. I made them last Wednesday. All I got to do is sit down and put together our video advert. So, Masquerade Breach Season 3 lineup is as follows. Episode 1, Hotel Transylvania 2. Episode 2, Lost Boys 2, The Tribe. Episode 3, one of my personal favorites, We Are the Night. Episode 4, The Fright Night Remake. Episode 5, From Dusk Till Dawn. Episode 6, Dracula Untold. Episode 7, The Ever Classic Blade. Episode 8, Underworld. Episode 9, Dracula 2000. Episode 10, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Episode 11, The Artsy The Hunger. And episode 12, what I'm assuming is probably going to be one of Marley's favorites later on down the line, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. Before the second coming of the Son of God, he has to deal with the vampire threat from the vampires that can walk in the daylight. When I tell you this is some of the cheesiest shit you will ever see. So,
I just want to warn everybody ahead of time that when we get to Underworld, I am obsessed with Lucian, and I do mean obsessed.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
I know, I have a problem, but like literally that wolf is the wolf of my dreams, and I would like more Lucian representation in every aspect of my life. Just saying.
So,
love it.
Question. We have now successfully wrapped up 2 seasons. We've been through a few staff members, but we've wrapped up 2 seasons. How are we feeling?
Hell yeah. Let's keep going. This is great. I think Masquerade Breach has really hit its stride. I think we figured out what the fuck we're doing, and we figured out a schedule that relatively works for everybody, and I say fuck yeah, let's keep going.
Cool.
Yeah.
Chat, we'll let you know when we're coming back with season 3. Again, we do movie watch days in the community Discord. You are welcome to come and join us for the community watch parties. We have riff tracks going in the side chat, comments, gifs, like you want to talk about it. We talk about it in the side chat on movie nights. It's a chance for us to sit back and just watch some absolutely gloriousness on Wednesday nights around 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll be keeping, hopefully, the same slots. I'm pretty sure we're set on that. But we're going to take a break so we don't get burnt out, so we can bring you the best possible content and reviews for vampire media that we possibly can. And for this episode and season, Masquerade Breach. I'm Blazewing.
I am Catherine Cosplays, otherwise known as Krisha.
I'm Marley, but I don't know if you can hear my name.
We heard you that time.
Oh, we heard that one. And I'm Oceanus Veritas, also known as Cam.
Guys, don't tell the Camarilla, but we made it through another season.
Woo!
A gallon of piss.
It's going to be hard to outdo that in the next season.
Yeah, Krisha's going to have to come
2 gallons!
Everyone gets a gallon of piss.
Cool.